Hello students, welcome to today's class. Today in this class we are discussing regarding the hot applications. Okay, the previous class we are discussed regarding the hot applications and the cold applications. What are the indications, what is the temperature, how we classified the further the hot applications and the cold application, isn't it? Now in the hot application again we have the general and the local. Again in that we have the moist and the dry heat, isn't it? Now so in this class we discuss regarding hot applications and this classification. Okay, let's start. Once again have a review once. Okay, here the hot application again we divided into the local and the general, again further divided into dry heat and the moist heat, isn't it? Now in the dry heat we have the hot water bottles, the chemical heating bottles, infrared rays by ultraviolet rays, again diathermy, the heat lamps, electrical lamps, the cradle lamps, electrical heating pads and all, isn't it? Now again here the moist we have the warm soaks and the hot fermentations and poultices and the stoops, the Farapin bath, sitz bath, aquathermia and all. Again here general dry heat, the sun bath, electrical pad, blanket, bed and all. Here in the moist heat again we have the steam bath, hot packs, whirlpool bath, isn't it? No, so this is the classification we already discussed in the previous class. Okay, now we'll see each one in detail. Clear? Okay. In the hot application, the first classification is a dry heat. Okay, now we'll see what are the applications we are using in the manner of dry. Okay. First one is a hot water bag. It's a very hot water bag. Okay, we all generally we are using, no, but now we'll see what is the principle, now how we have to use actually. Okay, see this is a picture. I will show you. This is a picture. Okay, we are seen in our fundamental lab, isn't it? Now this is we call hot water bag. Okay, see how to use this. Fill it 2/3 to half full with a warm water and remove the air at the top so the bag is easier to mold over the body part. Just don't know how much we had to fill the hot water, only the 2/3 of we had to fill, that's it. Okay, then what we had to do, dry the outside of the bag and test for the leakage. You had to test leakage, any leakage is there or what. Okay, then we had to cover the bag with a towel or pillowcase. Why? Because no, it has the quality that may burn the skin if you are applying the dry. So to prevent that we have to use the hot water bag with any towel or any cloth we can use. Then keep the bag in the place for 20 to 30 minutes and then we have to remove. Okay, then do not allow the client to lie on the hot water bag. Okay, so how much we had to use, what is the duration of a hot water bag? Because it sustained the heat till half an hour, that much only we had to use. Okay, so this is what the hot water bag. Okay, now we'll see what is a hot packs or the chemical heating packs. This is the same like a hot water bottle only, but hot water bag only, but here we are using some chemicals here. Okay, that's a commercially prepared and disposable hot packs supply the warm dry heat to an injured area. Okay, so the striking or squeezing this pack, no, it will release some chemical that again create some create some injuries or some burn to the skin. So better than this we can use a hot water bag, but some of the doctors or physicians are referred this to use this hot packs or the heating packs or chemical heating packs. Okay, in this packs it's maintain the degree of 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, 40.6 degrees Celsius it can hold the temperature. Okay, this is one more kind. See, this is what we call the hot packs, we can say, or we can say hot chemical pack also we can say. So different size are available, different size, but very careful. If it is not leakage means is very good. If it is leakage means it is again harmful to the patient. It may release a chemical, isn't it? No, but once we have to use this, no, check any leakage is there and all. This is for the forehead and for the chin and all we can use this one. Clear? No? Okay, different shapes are available. Next type is a aquathermia pad. Aquathermia means what? The water. Aqua means what? The water, isn't it? No. Thermia must maintain the temperature, right? The pads only. Okay, this is aquathermia pads. See, I'll show you the picture. See, this is we call aquathermia pads. Okay. Okay. So the aquathermia pads are useful in treating the muscle sprain. When we have to use this in the muscle sprain, usually in the muscle sprain, and for area with a mild inflammation or edema. Is muscle sprain is there? No, then this is aquathermia is the best to use. Then this unit is consist of the waterproof plastic or the rubber pad connected by the two hose to an electrical control unit that has eating that water and that motor also. Okay, then the reservoir of the unit is filled with how much? Same like a hot water bag unit, 2/3 we had to fill the distilled water. Okay, then the desired temperature is usually set with how much? 45 degree Celsius for the adult, and cover the pad with a thin cloth or the pillowcase prior to the application. The treatment is usually continuous for 20 to 30 minutes as such a hot water bag. Then do not have a client on, lie on the pad. Continuously you should not leave. Okay, after the duration we have to remove that. Okay, but this aquathermia pad is, what is the special of this means, it which connected with the electrical control, isn't it? This is what the main difference between the hot water bag and this aquathermia pad. Clear? Here we can see, no, electrical wire is there. This is what some the plastic kind or the rubber kind of the bag which will contain the water. Okay, how it's going to be hot? Through the electrical connection. Okay, 20 to 30 minutes is the duration. Okay, same like aquathermia, but it's have a different that we call the electrical heating pads. Okay, this is going to be provide the constant, even heat, are lightweight and can easily be molded to a body parts. Wherever we can keep this electrical heating pad is for how much duration we can exceed. For example, you take this hot bag and all, no, the duration we can use only to 20 to 30 minutes because the water temperature is going to be reduces. But if you are using this electrical heating pad, no, it is a continuous thing. Okay, we can use through this electrical power, but the heat is very even to the water. Okay, even manner is there here. Okay, then this unit is composed of an electrical coil enclosed within a waterproof and covered with a cotton or flannel cloth to absorb, and there's going to be absorb the sweat. This perspiration means what? Perspiration means this bag is going to be absorb the sweat and to insulate the pad also. Okay, and instruct the client to avoid using the high setting to prevent burn. Some of the patients, if they are using the electrical heat pad, they don't know how much they have to. Sometimes they will fit high degree Celsius, then you have to teach how much they have to keep. Clear? No, sometimes we only apply this electrical heat padding. Sometimes the patient on the self they like to use themselves. In that condition we have to teach them not to keep very high degree Celsius. Clear? No, then no wet dressing should be applied with this pad. This is electrical pad. Since this electrical pad, we have to instruct the patient should not use any wet dressing. Okay, wet dressing. Then do not allow the client to lie directly on the pad because heat will not dissipate and the client may be burnt. Clear? No, tell them should not lie down. We have to keep on the patient. The patient should not lie on this pad. Clear? No, this is all small instructions during this electrical heat pad application. See, this is what electrical hot pad. See, electrical heat pad. You can see here connections are there, isn't it? No, which again 2/3 of water we have to fill. Then here monitor how much degree can monitor. Okay, this is we call electrical heat pad. Oh, now you see here the nurse is holding the electrical heat pad. Okay, then she is setting up the how much heat she want, like degree of Celsius by the physician order. She has to keep it for usually the 45 degree, we can say 45 degree Celsius we can keep here normally. Then she are applying on the lumbar or in the back side of the patient, and see first what she is doing. She is covering with a drape. Should not apply directly on the patient's skin. First we have to arrange some what is a draping cover, or we can say some cotton bed sheets also. After that, once she covered with a cotton bag, she is applying this electrical pad. Clear? No? Clear? Understood? Okay. Next type is a infrared lamp. Okay, what is infrared? Infrared is a kind of a rays, isn't it? No, so here we are using the radiant energy here. In the infrared lamp, no, the heat will produce. For example, you consider if you are studying under the study lamp, you feel some hot, no, under that. The same principle only we are using for the patient. Same thing. Okay, so here now in infrared lamp we have a two types. One is a luminous and one is a non-luminous. Luminous which have the infrared waves, non-luminous which have far infrared. Clear? No. So the luminous produces some visible light. Is there? Luminous means what? Light. Non-luminous means not that much light is there. Okay, clear. So the luminous produces some visible light as opposed to the non-luminous. Then non-luminous is less penetrating than the luminous. So here now we have two types. This is more effective. Luminous means it produces some infrared rays along with the light is there. It is best compared to the non-luminous. Luminous we are using for a mild patient. For the severe patient we are using this luminous. The patient who have the severe pain, severe muscle sprain and all, we are using this luminous. Clear? Okay, this is going to be transmitted, or we can say no, the same thing only, ultraviolet rays or lamps. How it will work means this luminous lamps and all, or ultraviolet lamps and all, it's going to be transmitted the ultraviolet rays which are visible heat rays. Okay, then to that once you are administered means you have to be observe the skin carefully during and after the treatment. You have to see whether the patient's skin is very reddish or any what is there now after the care and before the care. You have to observe properly. Okay, then the client and the therapist must be protective goggles to shut out reflected harmful rays. So during this, no, you have to be wear the goggles, the black color goggles you have to wear to keep our eyes safely. Okay, the same thing, the duration of a treatment is usually 20 to 30 minutes. Now we'll see diathermy. Okay, diathermy is again the heat application. Okay, the high frequency wave achieves a deep heat penetration. Once the patient needs deep heat penetration, we have to advise this diathermy. Okay, here we have the short sound, ultrasounds are there, short waves are there, microwaves. Depending upon the patient condition, we have to use this. Okay, this is, we call it, this is diathermy. Okay, now we'll see what is the electrical cradle, or we call the heat cradle. Cradle means what? The baby is sleeping now, what we call the cradle, you know, right? So this is we call electrical cradle, big to cover whole body. Okay, it is used when the large body part is to be treated and covering of the skin with a gown or the sheets is not possible. Okay, then the sheet or blanket can be added over the cradle. Why? To maintain the heat at a desired level. If you are using some blankets extra means that going to be hold the heat for a long lasting, isn't it? No. Then the same thing, duration of the treatment is a 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, once after before you are giving the hot application, you have to be warm. The environment is very important. Otherwise what happened, the environment which consumes the heat, then you're not at all getting that much proper heat. Understood? No. So pre-warm is very important. Before starting any heat, we have to be maintain the hot temperature, hot environment around us. Then we have to start this. Clear? The same thing only. So after unit is a warmed up or can be used continuously to provide the low temperature. Clear? This is we call electrical cradle. I will show you the image. So this is the electrical cradle, as well as we can see the radiant cradle also. Okay, see from here I will show you. Wait. Okay, through the electricity some radiations are produced from here. This is what the cradle. Okay, here the usually we are giving for the babies also. Okay, the baby, this is for meant for the baby. Okay, here we have to keep the baby here in this table, in this cradle. Then we have to apply some here heat, here produce some heat, all as well as the radiations also. Okay, we can say the radiant cradle. Okay, and one more image I will show you. See, this is what here we can arrange, adjust the temperature. Okay, some through the light. Okay, through the radiations we are giving this dry heat applications. Clear? No? Okay. Now we'll see heating lamps. Okay, heating lamps is used to supply the heat to the body parts. The distance between the exposed part and the lamp depends upon the weightage of the light bulb and the heat tolerance. So now how much watt we are using now in the house and all, how much watt we are using the bulb and all, same thing only the lamp also, depending upon the weightage, depending upon that during the watt, how much watt we are using, the 25 watt, 40 watt, depending upon that watt we are maintaining the distance between the body part and a particular lamp. Clear? The same, the duration is the 20 to 30 minutes only. Now for example, you see here, if you are using the 25 watt, the distance, how much distance we have to keep from the body is 35 centimeter. Okay, if we are giving the 40 watt, we have to keep the distance of the body part away 45 centimeter. If we are using the 60 watt, we are maintaining the distance between the body and that lamp is 60 to 75 centimeter. Clear? No, this is we call heating. These are the classifications of the dry heat. Okay. Okay, now we'll see moist heat. Okay, we have seen all the types of the dry heat, isn't it? No? Now we'll see one by one moist heat applications. First one is see. Now tell me, what is this? See, I will tell you. I will give you some clue for you. See, this is the towel or some blanket. Okay, this moistened with a hot water. Then we squeeze it off and we are keeping here. Same thing we are doing for the forehead, no? So this is type we call fomentation. It's not a fermentation. Keep it in mind. Fomentation. Okay, fomentation. Okay. See, this fomentation is nothing but is a moist application of the heat over an area by means of the double thickness of the flannel or other soft material. What we have to squeeze it off, or we call say wring out from the hot water and protected by the waterproof covering, wool or the bandage. This is we call fomentation. Dip the cloth, soft cloth, okay, or the bed sheet, or we can say some wool, or we can say some cotton blanket, dip it in the hot water, then wring it out and apply over the body. This is we call fomentation. What are the purposes? To relieve the pain and congestion, to relieve the inflammations, to relieve the retention of the urine, to promote the suppuration, and to stimulate the peristalsis and relieve the tympanitis. Tympanitis is nothing but distension of the abdomen due to some gas formation, due to some accumulation of the fluid, that we call tympanitis. Usually this fomentation we are keeping on this to relieve the tympanitis. Okay. Then to relieve the intestinal and the renal colic. Colic means what? A pain. Okay. Then to soften the crust or debris in the wound. Okay. To last class we are discussing now how to soften. See, if you are keeping this fomentation, what happened? The crust on the wound, it will going to be soft, easy for the removal, isn't it? No. That to help in the absorptions of the exudate also, that to relieve the muscular spasm and to relieve the congestions in the internal organ. These are the purposes of the what? Purposes of the fomentations. Yes. Now you see one more slide here. See, the nurse holding the cotton towel or the blanket, whichever the patient needs. Okay, all depending upon the overall or body required, or in the particular part required, depending upon the patient condition. Okay, in the hot water, she squeeze it off everything. Okay, then she's keeping in some like box, or again she is taking some of the extra cloths here. Okay, to maintain the temperature, again we can keeping it in the like oven like system is there. Is not like a oven, but to maintain the temperature, one machine is there. Depending upon the hospital, some of the hospitals they are using this, some of them not. We can squeeze it off, wring it out, all the water once remove, we can keep directly on the patient's body like this, covered with that. So many, how much? 1 sheet, 2 sheet, 3 sheet, like that. Okay, but she's preparing the, once bring it out, she is arranging all the cloths. Once it arrange, then arrange on the patient's body systematically like this. Okay, wherever the body parts which needs, she is applying on that. Clear, no? Okay. Next one is a STUPS. Okay, what is STUPS? Is a medical fermentations. Okay, but here no, it's same like a fermentations, but we are using some medicated. It's a medicated fermentation, we can say. Okay, see, some of the STUPS means here some we can use some the turpentine. Okay, is a medicines like a turpentine we are using, but to hold the heat for a prolonged time. Okay, the water is hold some heat for some distance of time like a 20 to 30 minutes, but if you are using the turpentine, no, with the long lasting heat we can get, so that we call this STUPS. Okay, STUPS is nothing but fermentation, but along with that fermentation we are using some medicines that we call STUPS. Clear, no? So commonly used to relieve the tympanitis. The STUPS is we are using for mainly for this tympanitis. Okay, tympanitis means what? Abnormal distension of the abdomen due to some gas collection. Distension of the abdomen. Okay, so by increasing the peristalsis moment also we are using this and relaxing the muscle spasm. Okay, how much drug you can use? See, if you are taking the turpentine, 1 pot, then you have to take within the alveoli. We are mixing with the turpentine with the alveoli. Okay, for example, if you are using the 1 liter of this turpentine, 3 liters of alveoli, we have to mix it off. The simple logic. Okay, this is about the STUPS. Then, what do you mean by Poultice? Poultice is also called as a cataplasm. See, the application of the moist heat in the form of soft spongy mass that retained its heat for the varying length of the time according to the ingredient used. Very simple. Poultice means no. So in your at home, the mother are using no. The mothers is usually if you're telling any pain, they will hot the salt. Keep it in on towel. They are keeping around the abdomen or somewhere we need, isn't it? No. So poultice is very simple. Here we are applying the hot using some ingredient. That we call Poultice. For example, here starch Poultice means the starch and the sodium bicarbonate means what? We are using the salt here. Salt. How much? Starch means starch we have to take the 8 proportion, along with that 1 proportion of the salt, sodium bicarbonate. Okay. The duration of the application we can keep for half an hour to 1 hour. We can apply this Poultice. This is we call Poultice. Okay, we are taking some cloth here, some pad here. Over there we are using some medicated ingredient, starch with a bicarbonate. No, so it will hold the heat prolonged time. Clear? This is we call Poultice, or we can say the cataplasm. Now we'll see the moist heat packs. See some of the canvas pouch with a silica gel. Okay, moist heat pack means we are using some canvas pouch, like a canvas pouch is there, a leather pouch which contain the silica gel is there. Okay, the pack is kept in the water filled heating until the maintained between 160 degree Fahrenheit to 170 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so a pack maintain the temperature of how much? 30 to 45 degree minutes it can hold the heat. It can hold the heat. Okay, the packs transfer the heat by conduction. In which way it is going to be transferred the heat? Through the conduction. Then the maintenance benefit is a superficial heat to 1 centimeter. We can apply this. This is we call moist heat packs. So what are the precautions we have to take? So infected area must be covered with a gauze. Should not apply on the infected area. Okay. So what are the contraindications? Is acute conditions and the peripheral vascular disease. You should not eat this moist heat pack. Okay, but what are the indication you see? So subacute or chronic inflammatory condition, we can use this hot heat pack. Then reduction of the subacute chronic pain, any chronic pain we can use this hot heat pack. Then the subacute, and what is the decrease the range of motion. For the people have a range of motion, they can't move. The range of motion means what? All angle we are moving the body part, that we call range of motion. Once a patient doesn't have this range of motion, so we have use this moist heat pack. Okay, then any hematoma resolution to reduce any clot we can use, and in the reduction of the joint contracture also we can use, and for any some of the infection we can use this moist heat pack. Okay. Next is a warm socks, or we can say this simply you can say local bath. Okay, general taking the bath. Okay, so what do you mean by this? Is the immersion of the body part in the warmed solutions promotes the circulations, decrease the edema, increases the muscle relaxations, and provides the means to debride the wounds. Okay, and apply for the medicated solution. We can use the hot water along with some medications. We can use some Dettol or some Savlon or any prescribed medication we can use for this. So this is we called, okay, immerse in the hot water with a some medicated water. We can immerse the whole body part now, that we call warm socks or local bath, we can say. Then can also be accomplished by the wrapping the body part in the dressings and saturating with the warm solution. That also we can do. Then the sterile techniques is generally indicated for the open wound. See, if the patient have any open wound, we have to use a sterile technique. Okay, such as burns. The burns patient, if you are using these techniques, we have to be very careful. We have to use the sterile technique. Okay, so this is we call warm soaks or local bath. Now we'll see what is the temperature we have to use. See, 105 to 110 degree Fahrenheit, or we can say 40.5 degree to 43 degree Celsius we can use. The duration is a 20 minutes to 30 minutes we can use. Okay, so temperature of the solution should be checked frequently, and additional solution is added after that. Once the patient get cold, once the the bath tub contain the water is becoming cold, means frequently we had to add the hot water in that to maintain the temperature. The same thing, one of the type is a paraffin bath. There we are using the water, but here we are using this paraffin. Very simple. The mixture of 15 to 30 ml of the mineral oil to the 1 pound of paraffin wax. Clear? So the temperature of this, how much? 118 degree Fahrenheit to 126 degree Fahrenheit for the upper extremity. We are using for this upper extremity. So for upper extremity we are using this temperature, and for the lower extremity we are using this 113 degree Fahrenheit to 121 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, then the paraffin can provide approximate us 8 times the amount of the heat as water due to the low specific heat. For example, what is this? Is the 8 times is better than the hot water. Means better means 8 time heat produces this paraffin, because the water getting cool very frequent, very easily the water gets cool, but this paraffin is not like that. Okay, the 6th time it maintain the temperature. Okay, here sorry I pronounced 8 times. It's not 8 times sometimes, but it is 6 times greater than that particular water. Okay, that much it's going to be hold the heat. Okay, what is the indication? This is we call paraffin bath here. Okay, this is what paraffin bath. So this wax moisten the skin, water tend to be dry skin, isn't it? No, but the wax is going to be moist in the skin, but water, what happened is easily it's going to be dry. So and used to deliver the heat in the uniform amount to the small irregular shaped area. For the hand, for the finger, for the wrist, for the foot we are using this paraffin, and especially for the rheumatoid arthritis. Especially for this rheumatoid arthritis you are using this paraffin bath. Okay. So what are the setup we have to do? See, they clean the body part and dip the body quickly. The body part as any hand or extremity, any finger, we had to dip. Then dip the extremity 6 to 12 times more times we can dip in the paraffin liquid. Then cover with the cellophane or towel. The duration of the 10 to 15 minutes we had to cover after that. Then do not touch the sides of the bottom bath. Otherwise what happened? Burns will happen, isn't it? No. Then immerse the extremity in the bath and allow the wax to dry. Then repeat that time 7 to 12 more times we can use. Okay. After the final withdrawal from the wax, we have to cover the extremity with a plastic bag, or we can use this wax paper also. Okay. Then if indicated, elevate the body part. After that we can elevate the body part, and following this treatment remove the wax and return to the bath. After that we have to take one bath. Okay, this is we call paraffin bath setup. So what are the indications? You see the indications here. The subacute and the chronic inflammations and limitation of the range of motions after the immobilization. These are the indications. And the contraindications are we should not use for open wound patient, for the skin infection patient, for the sensory loss and the peripheral vascular disease, should not use this. And what is the precaution we have to take means sensation is different from the specific heat, no? So, and the thermal capacity may causes the burns. So, we have to carefully wash the patient before and after giving this paraffin bath. So, one more type is a whirlpool bath, full immersion of the bath. Okay, so this whirlpool bath is temperature is between how much 105 degree to 112 degree Fahrenheit for the extremities, and 100 degree to 108 degree Fahrenheit for the whole body. We are using simply, no, see, we are using the full complete body. We have to immerse in that tub. Okay, then the time is usually lasts for 10 to 20 minutes only. This is we call whirlpool or a full immersion of bath. Next is a sitz bath, or we can say hip bath also. So used for the client who have had the rectal surgeries, for the bottom surgeries, the bottom cases, no, that we call for specific for that patient we are using this sitz bath. See, this is used for the client who have the rectal surgeries and episiotomy during the childbirth and the painful hemorrhoids, fistula, any piles we can say, then the vaginal inflammations. This all condition we are using this sitz bath. Okay, the clients, the pelvic area is immersed in the warm fluid. The clients sit in a specific tub. I will show you. See, this is the we call sitz bath. Okay, the patient is sitting on the tub, no, any rectal surgeries, any hemorrhoids, any fistula, no. So this is we are using this sitz bath. For the commode only we can keep this tub. In that warm water we have to use. I will tell you the temperature and all. Okay, this is we call sitz bath. Okay, now we'll see. Yeah, what is the temperature we are using? 110 degree to 115 degree Fahrenheit we are using. It's very important. In the exam they will ask what is the temperature we are using for the sitz bath. You have to say 110 degree Fahrenheit to 115 degree Fahrenheit. In the duration of 15 to 30 minutes we are using. Clear? Then the prevent the overexposure and the chilly by the draping a bath blanket over the client's shoulder and the thighs and prevent the draft. Clear, no? So this is we call sitz bath. Okay, what are the solution we are using for the sitz bath? Mainly we are using this potassium permanent solutions, that is 1:5000 ratio, and the boric acid 1 gram to 1 pint, and the USO solution also we can use. So it is a mainly contraindication. You should not use for the pregnancy and for the menstruation and the renal inflammations and increase irritability. But what are the indications? Indication for the hemorrhoids, fistula, episiotomy. This all the indications. Okay, we are seeing now this is we call sitz bath. Okay, like this we have to help the patient to take the sitz bath. Okay, next class we'll see what are the cold applications. Okay, in which we are completed this all the types of hot application. If you have any doubt you can clarify in the group. Okay, and next class we'll see the cold application.